what is it really like living in Africa? For some people, Africa is a dream. Beautiful weather, rich culture, strong family values, incredible food, natural beauty, business opportunities, freedom from the fast and stressful lifestyle many people experience in Western countries. But for others, Africa can also be challenging. Poor infrastructure in some places, corruption, unemployment, inconsistent electricity, expensive imported goods, political instability in certain regions. So which one is true? The answer is both. Africa is not one country. It is a continent filled with over 50 countries, thousands of cultures, different languages, different economies, and completely different lifestyles. In today's video, we are going deep into the real pros and cons of living in Africa. Not the stereotypes, not the internet fantasies, the reality. Whether you already live in Africa, plan to move there, want to retire there, or you're simply curious about life on the continent, this video will open your eyes. Stay until the end because some of the advantages and disadvantages may completely surprise you. And if you enjoy content about countries, culture, lifestyle, travel, and hidden truths people rarely talk about, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Let's begin. The beauty of community and family. One of the biggest advantages of living in many African countries is the sense of community. In many parts of the world today, people feel lonely. Neighbors don't know each other. Families rarely gather. Everyone is too busy. But in many African communities, relationships still matter deeply. People check on each other. Families support each other. Children are often raised collectively. Celebrations bring entire communities together. If you attend a wedding in Africa, it may feel like the whole town showed up. If someone is sick, neighbors often help. If someone succeeds, the community celebrates together. Many people who move to Africa from Western countries say they feel more connected emotionally and socially. There's warmth, there's human interaction, there's life, but there's also another side. Sometimes family expectations can become overwhelming. People may expect financial support from successful relatives. Privacy can also be limited depending on the culture and environment. In some communities, everyone wants to know your business. So while strong community can be beautiful, it can also feel stressful for people who prefer independence and personal space. Still, many people say the human connection in Africa is something money cannot buy. Cost of living, cheap or expensive. Many people assume living in Africa is cheap. That depends on where you live and how you live. In some African countries, local food, transportation, and housing can be affordable compared to Europe or America. You may buy fresh fruits directly from local markets at low prices. Street food can be inexpensive and delicious. Rent in smaller cities may cost far less than in major Western cities. But here's the shocking part many outsiders don't expect. Certain things in Africa can actually be very expensive. Imported electronics, cars, luxury goods, high-speed internet, private healthcare, international schools. In some African countries, imported products cost far more than they do in America or Europe because of taxes and shipping costs. And in major cities like Lagos, Nairobi, Cape Town, or Accra, the cost of living can rise quickly. Some wealthy neighborhoods in African cities are as expensive as areas in developed countries. Another challenge is income levels. Even if things seem affordable to foreigners earning dollars or euros, local salaries may not match the rising prices. That creates financial pressure for many residents. So the truth is this: Africa can be affordable if you live modestly and adapt locally. But modern luxury lifestyles can become extremely expensive. Food and culture. One of Africa's greatest strengths is culture. Africa is filled with traditions, music, fashion, languages, dances, and foods that are deeply rich and unique. The food alone is incredible. From jollof rice in West Africa, to injera in Ethiopia, to nyama choma in East Africa, to bunny chow in South Africa. Every region has flavors and traditions that tell stories. And unlike heavily processed foods common in many places, African meals often include fresh ingredients bought daily from markets. Many people living in Africa enjoy healthier natural foods compared to processed fast food diets. Culture is also strongly preserved. Traditional ceremonies still exist. Festivals are alive. Local languages are spoken proudly. Music is deeply connected to identity. But there can also be cultural challenges. Foreigners or newcomers may struggle to adapt to social expectations. Language barriers can become difficult in certain regions. Some traditions may feel restrictive depending on your background. And in multicultural cities, tribal or ethnic tensions can sometimes exist beneath the surface. Still, for many people, Africa's cultural richness is one of the continent's greatest treasures. Weather and natural beauty. Africa is home to some of the most beautiful landscapes on Earth. Beaches, mountains, rainforests, savannas, deserts, waterfalls. The continent has incredible biodiversity and breathtaking scenery. In many African countries, the weather is warm for most of the year. For people tired of freezing winters, that alone feels like paradise. You can enjoy sunshine almost year-round in some places. Tourism in Africa continues growing because the natural beauty is extraordinary. But nature also comes with challenges. Extreme heat in certain regions can become exhausting. Droughts affect some communities. Flooding happens during rainy seasons in certain countries. And depending on the area, mosquitoes and tropical diseases can be serious concerns. In some places, reliable water supply is also an issue. So while Africa's natural environment is stunning, living comfortably often depends on infrastructure and location. Business and opportunities. Africa is often described as the continent of the future. Why? Because it has one of the youngest populations in the world. Technology is growing rapidly. Entrepreneurship is rising. Digital businesses are expanding. Many industries in Africa are still developing, which creates opportunities for people willing to innovate. Some entrepreneurs move to Africa because they see gaps in the market. Delivery services, agriculture, real estate, technology, media, education. There is room for growth. And in many African countries, small businesses are everywhere. People hustle constantly. Creativity is strong. Survival skills are impressive. But business in Africa can also be difficult. Corruption may slow progress. Government policies may change unexpectedly. Power outages can affect operations. Access to funding can be limited. In some places, bureaucracy makes starting businesses frustrating. Unemployment is also a major issue, especially for young people. Many educated graduates struggle to find stable jobs. So Africa offers opportunity, but often requires patience, resilience, and adaptability. Infrastructure challenges. This is one of the biggest realities many people discuss about living in Africa. Infrastructure varies greatly from country to country. Some African cities are highly modern with skyscrapers, highways, and advanced technology. Others struggle with roads, electricity, water supply, and transportation. In certain areas, electricity outages happen regularly. Some people use generators daily. Internet connections may become unstable. Roads in rural areas can be difficult during rainy seasons. Public transportation systems may also be overcrowded or unreliable depending on the city. Healthcare access differs widely too. Private hospitals in some African cities are excellent, but rural healthcare systems may lack resources. Education quality also depends heavily on location and income level. This creates inequality between wealthy and poor communities. At the same time, many African countries are developing rapidly. New roads are being built. Technology hubs are growing. Mobile banking has transformed financial access in places like Kenya. Africa is changing fast. But infrastructure remains one of the continent's biggest challenges. Safety and security. When outsiders think about Africa, they often focus only on danger. But the reality is more complicated. Africa has peaceful countries in dangerous areas, just like every continent. Some African cities are very safe. Others experience high crime rates. Safety often depends on location, economic conditions, and political stability. Petty theft can be common in crowded urban areas. Some regions experience political unrest or terrorism. But many African communities are also incredibly peaceful and welcoming. One mistake people make is treating Africa as one place. Living in Mauritius is not the same as living in Somalia. Living in Rwanda is not the same as living in South Africa. Experiences differ dramatically. Another reality is that media coverage often focuses only on negative stories: war, poverty, corruption, disease. But millions of ordinary Africans wake up daily, go to work, raise families, laugh, build businesses, and live normal lives. The full picture is more balanced than many people realize. The mental and emotional experience. There's something many people don't talk about enough. Living in Africa can change your mindset. Some people say life feels more alive. There's music everywhere. There's energy in the markets. There's social interaction. There's resilience. People often learn how to adapt quickly and survive challenges creatively. At the same time, constant stress from unstable systems can become emotionally exhausting. Power cuts, traffic, economic struggles, government problems. Many Africans develop strong mental toughness because daily life often requires persistence. That resilience is admirable, but it can also become tiring. Some people dream of leaving Africa for better opportunities abroad, while others who left eventually miss the culture, warmth, and sense of belonging they once had. It's complicated. Africa can frustrate you deeply and still make you fall in love with it at the same time. What most people get wrong about Africa. One of the biggest misconceptions is that Africa is either completely terrible or completely perfect. Neither is true. Some people romanticize Africa as paradise. Others describe it only through suffering. But Africa is filled with contradictions. Extreme wealth and extreme poverty can exist side by side. Modern cities and traditional villages coexist. Innovation and struggle happen simultaneously. And because Africa is so diverse, no single story can represent the whole continent. Another mistake people make is underestimating African creativity and intelligence. Africa has artists, scientists, entrepreneurs, engineers, and innovators doing remarkable things. The continent has challenges, yes, but it also has enormous potential. So, what are the real pros and cons of living in Africa? The pros? Strong community, rich culture, natural beauty, warm weather, business opportunities, powerful traditions, human connection. The cons? Infrastructure problems, economic struggles, political instability in some regions, unemployment, corruption, healthcare and education inequality. Africa is not simple. It is beautiful and difficult, hopeful and frustrating, traditional and modern, peaceful and chaotic. But one thing is certain. Africa cannot be understood through stereotypes alone. You have to listen to the people. You have to experience the cultures. You have to see beyond headlines. And maybe that's the real secret about Africa. It's far more complex, powerful, and human than the world often realizes. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this channel with someone who wants to learn more about the world, culture, and hidden truths people rarely discuss. Comment below, would you ever live in Africa? Why or why not? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.